then if I've got him, they'll come back, and perfect.
Is there an effect between the way you develop the website and how the website is developed? For example, you use Wix, a very basic and cheap one, or you use WordPress, or you develop your own website?
Great question. Really, really good question. I like that. Wix has not good. They have their permalinks or permalinks, so the food processor thing. With Wix, it's not. They use a hashtag and a code. It's all internally written. Wix is terrible for SEO. So if you're thinking of going with Wix, please do not. Because I will basically, and I'm just being honest, because I'll basically be taking your website and then putting it into WordPress, which is still pretty standard. But Wix doesn't format their URLs properly to let Google know what's on the page. One of the first things Google looks at is your URL. And I can't remember how they do it. It was like hashtag, something, then 123 question mark. They have a really weird tag. I can always tell a Wix site because they're permalink, they're URL. And I would highly advise against Wix. WordPress is great. You can normally get a theme for like $50, and then you just piece it together. But it does definitely matter how you build a website. And I would recommend investing, because a lot of times I come in and I rebuild the website. Because that's the way people go, right? And they're not necessarily told otherwise. But my advice would be to avoid Wix like the plague. It is easy, but you pay for it in the end, to be honest. So, sorry? Weebly? I haven't used Weebly. Typically, I do most of my sites in WordPress. It's the most commonly used content management system in the world. It's not necessarily the best, but it still is really good, and it's really user-friendly. I can normally train somebody how to use it inside of 2 hours. Oh, wow. So that's why I use it. And it's like most plugins, so most applications, third-party applications. It's really the best way to go, to be honest. Really, I've used other content management systems, and you just want to. So yeah. And then I'll come back to you.
I have a client that I work with, and they want to add a new type of consulting to their repertoire for their company.
Right.
So they've been doing like graphic and web design for a long time, and they do printing.
Okay.
But they want to add something that's a different type of business consulting. But I don't necessarily see it in line with that. Would that be confusing?
So in line with the overall business model?
Yeah, like so I would see it as, so say that it was like, like graphic design and printing.
Right.
Those go together.
Right,
okay?
right.
But then the new thing is a business type of consulting, but it's more an internal thing. It's more business consulting, not necessarily like marketing. So would that be confusing because there's so many things going on?
So is it contextually relevant to the printing and everything that we're doing right now?
No.
So then you may want to consider a totally separate thing. Like you could do another service and put a page on, see what ranks, but you may even consider, like if it's totally different than the business model, than the current one, you may want to just design another page. It really ranges, because I'd have to like see kind of what it is. But if it's not contextually relevant, then it could theoretically impact your rank for the stuff that you are trying to target because of that, how relevant or how not relevant they are. So it's a complex question. So hopefully that gives you some insight.
Okay.
Yeah, perfect. And then right there.
Yeah, I have a friend that uses Joomla for his website.
Yes.
And then what's your experience with the Joomla?
I have experience with Joomla. Typically, I normally use it and then go back to WordPress.
How's it compared to Wix? So is it like?
It's better. So don't get me wrong. Joomla, typically I normally see websites that have a large database and a lot of different items. And it is good for that. It's just when I've used it before, I guess I'm kind of spoiled with WordPress. And then I use Joomla. I've used Umbraco, which is painful. But yeah, I end up going back to WordPress, if that makes any sense. But Joomla isn't bad at all. It's another one. It would be my second choice to WordPress. So, but typically I see larger websites with just tons of information in there. So normally, like say optometrists, I very commonly see that. But most of the time I end up in WordPress because it's just more universal and I can train somebody on how to do it. Because that's typically what I do is I normally do offer training to business owners so that they can manage it to an extent and they can post and stuff like that.
But can the SEO effectiveness is still the same?
Yeah, it's still the same. Yeah, it's not like Wix. Wix, the main issue is that they every page is generated through a script, so it's not like a physical page. It's very odd how they do it, but it's effective for a person that's looking for simplicity. So, but in the end, you're going to pay for it. So it's not very good for SEO. And there's quite a few write-ups online about Wix and SEO. So, but yeah, I would just go to WordPress. Any other questions? One more, and then okay, two more, and then we're done. So, bam. So yeah, sorry.
The question is quality score affected by pausing a campaign? If you pause a campaign for a while, the quality score decreases?
Sort of. Theoretically, yes. Because as you pause it, if your page becomes not as relevant to the search trends, theoretically, yes, your quality score will go down. So it's not quite, sort of. So
because I do it every day. When I'm overwhelmed, I pause it, and then I'm.
So say you leave it for a year, what people search for will change, right? But also how Google sees that page and the additions to your website might also change, right? So it's not just in AdWords, it's also on your website itself and what people are searching for. So it's a complex question you're asking, but you kind of have to turn it back on, see what the ranking is, and then maybe make updates to the call to action to the ad, and then maybe even to the page as well. So it really ranges. Like it's one of those things. Like they look at your page like 220 different ways, right? So it'll change. Yeah, so I'd probably say it will change, but theoretically it could not also change. If that makes sense.
Thank you.
I know. One last.
Always post the keywords.
There is supposed to be Google Trends and Google keyword popularity.
Okay.
Can you perhaps maybe explain that?
I mainly know of trends. So I have the trends screensaver that shows the trends of what's going on. I believe that's the one that they promote as well. I was recently at a Google kind of conference. And they promote, right now they're promoting the trends side. So if I was looking at one or spending time on looking at what's trending, I would look on Google Trends.
A short question about WordPress. What theme company do you recommend? Theme Forest, Studio Press?
Everyone's different. Yeah, it really is totally relevant to the company, but I stay away from elegant themes.
Yes.
Would be my first suggestion, because they're an interesting one, but it really ranges. Honestly, every website I do is different. So, okay, one last one.
Suppose I was searching on the Google, like a digital marketing agency in Vancouver.
Sure.
And suppose your website come up on the Google, and I clicked on it.
Yes.
And I just read out the content and exit the website.
Right.
And after 2 or 3 hours, I'm looking at my Facebook page.
Right.
And someone, some other agency, marketing agency, ad showing on my Google Facebook page.
Sure.
So how is it possible that because the cookies, it's Google, use the cookies to showing the banner ads, then how Facebook,
Search partner. So the display, they got search and search partners. So like say TripAdvisor, Amazon, they'll serve Google advertising.
Yeah.
And then you've got also Facebook with interests or things that they like. So say it's like I can do an ad for you for marketing. Right? So then I could retarget you that way too. It could just be a plain coincidence as well. Like it's, because if I have, say I target friends of friends or friends that are connected with me, but then with their interest in marketing, it recognizes the cookie, and you can find it that way. There's quite a few different ways, like there's a lot of different ways. So does that answer your question fully or not really?
Not really.
I know, it's kind of one of those things, sorry. Yeah, like basically, there's quite a few different things that go into it. So yeah, I'd be happy to send you kind of my thoughts on an email. But there's a few different ways of how that could happen. So it could just be pure coincidence. It could be that the competitors are running an ad targeting mainly marketing to their following or people that are not linked with the following in a certain area. They're searching for a keyword. There's quite a few different alternatives. But I can send you if you want. Yeah.
No, thanks.
No problem.
Yeah, that's good.
Perfect.
Thank you, Nick. So it's 10 minutes to 9 now. We can wrap it up a little bit early. We have to be out of this room at 9:15. You're welcome to network as I pack up and say goodbye to the VSO School of Music. You're going to be around, Harrison. You're going to be around, Nick.
Yep.
Anyone ask any more questions, feel free. So otherwise, go forth